Welcome back to the 9th Gym program, and today we are looking at some Series 8 stuff, the restricted format that is upcoming, and just kind of talking about, things that I expect to see, usage stats potentially, potential sets for these Pokemon, potential ideas for these Pokemon, and we've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. As you can see here, I just made these all of these things just now, and it's a good bit. So let's go ahead and delve right into it. So as most of you know, Series 8 was just announced a few days ago with the rule set of 1 restricted legendary per team. I have the list of them right here. We'll go ahead and talk about those real quick. So we have Mewtwo, Lugia, Hooh, pretty much all the box arts here. Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza, Dialga, all of these guys, right? All of them, Kyurem. That's actually one that I missed for my thing, so oh well. We're not going to talk about Kyurem today, so Kyurem fans, I'm sorry. We'll talk about it in the future. Veltal, Xerneas, Zygarde, Lunala, Solgaleo, the fused forms for them as well, with Necrozma, as well as Zacian, Zamazenta with the crown forms, and Eternatus and Calyrex with Shadow and Ice Rider. A whole lot of stuff we're going to be covering, a whole lot of stuff, so strap in, get yourself some popcorn, get yourself a drink, a little bit of water or something, and let's get into it. Speaking of water, right off the bat, we're going to be talking about Kyogre, as Kyogre will most likely be, in the top couple of restricted Pokemon, and probably pretty high up on usage stats in general, even though it will be restricted to 1 per team, so it won't be overlapping with any of these other restricted Pokemon, so of course it won't be like number 1 or anything, but it'll be pretty high up on usage stats according to like Pikalytics or other reputable sites like that. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So a couple of ideas for Kyogre that I've been having. We have Choice Scarf Kyogre. This is not something new. It's definitely something good. You have Speedy Kyogre, which is very good. Getting to 156, 1.5 times that with the Choice Scarf is very good. We do have threats for Kyogre that are pretty new. Obviously, we have Grassy Glide Rillaboom, which is going to be really big. Choice Band Grassy Glide Rillaboom is going to be doing a lot of damage. Actually, I'm very curious, but I can't imagine they have Kyogre on here. Oh, they already do, of course. Cool. So we have Kyogre, and then we'll have Rillaboom. Let's go ahead and look at Rillaboom with the Grassy Glide, 252 attack, Adamant. Let's talk about Choice Band. And we are seeing a huge amount of damage out by this, but this is without any bulk. So maybe we'll start to see more bulk on Kyogres. This is also primal. So we'll, figure all of that out. In the future, we will have different kind of things. Kyogre, let's go for a blank set. Not enough Obama Snow. Kyogre, blank set, because, yeah, so we will have a lot of damage here. And this is, of course, blank, but still, it's going to be really, really big. So, form Kyogre, regular Kyogre. I said that, bud. But yeah, it's going to be the same. So maybe we'll have to see some bulky Kyogres. Let's just plug it in real quick. 252 into bulk. It's still looking pretty bad with Choice Band Rillaboom. So maybe Choice Band Rillaboom will be seeing a little bit more play. That's just something, in the back of my mind. Also, we have Regieleki, which is going to be pretty problematic for this Pokemon as well. Having Magnet, Life Orb, Choice Specs, something like that, as well as Transistor, as well as Thunderbolt, damaging moves. Regieleki could be a problem for Kyogre as well, and it'll probably naturally outspeed Choice Scarf with max investment, so Kyogre has some threats in the meta, but let's talk about what it can do. It has Choice Scarf, it has Drizzle, it doesn't have to use Choice Scarf. As you can see here, we have Wiki Berry, Iron Ball. This has seen play in the past, believe it or not. Iron Ball min speed actually gets you pretty slow, so under Trick Room, this Pokemon can work as well. You can go Life Orb max sets. There's a lot of room for these Pokemon because it is different. We only have 1 restricted Pokemon, and we also have Dynamax. So there's a lot of new factors in play that will change this format from past restricted formats, so that'll be really interesting. Choice Scarf could be good. Life Orb, the Ball, Mystic Water could be used. There's a lot of stuff that could be used. Wiki Berry. But as far as not really customizable things, we also have Drizzle, which is very, very big for this Pokemon. Drizzle, Water Spout, Stab, going to be doing a huge amount of damage, and if you're hitting first before they're doing any damage, you have Choice Scarf, which is doing a lot of damage. or Choice Scarf makes you fast, so the Water Spout is doing damage based off of your max HP, which is a lot. So 150 base power with Stab, with Drizzle. You're doing a lot of damage. Kyogre is a very, very threatening Pokemon, and that's not going to change. You also do have pretty good coverage with Ice Beam and Thunder. Thunder hitting 100% of the time with Drizzle. Very good stuff. Let's look at a couple of partners that I might have. Kingdra, Ludicolo, Ferrothorn, things like that. Kingdra, Ludicolo, obviously loving that Swift Swim, or loving that Rain for its ability Swift Swim. And then things like Ferrothorn really taking away from its own weakness. Maybe we'll see Kartana, maybe we'll see Ferrothorn. A couple of Pokemon like that, being able to diminish that weakness is a good thing in general. That is about it for Kyogre. We're going to go move on to Groudon. I'm going to try to keep these a little bit short because we do have a lot of stuff to cover. So yeah, but I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about the big boys like Kyogre and Groudon, Pokemon like that. So Groudon, what does Groudon do? Well, it also has Drought, which summons the Sunny Day, things for like, our Chlorophyll boy Venusaur and our Solar Power boy Charizard, things like that, like the sun, so that'll be good. Groudon will probably take place of a lot of Torkoals that we see current day and Ninetales and stuff like that. Being able to use Drought instead is a little bit better on a crazy Pokemon like this. Stats are crazy across the board. These are legendary Pokemon, guys. They, of course, will have crazy stats. Look at these, 100 HP, as well as 140 defense and 90 special defense. And then that's, like, not even its crazy stats because it also has 150 attack. Like, I'm just, like, every restricted Pokemon has insane stats, so we're not going to be looking into the stats too much. All of these Pokemon will have guides. Request guides in the comments below if you guys want them. We're going to be starting guides up this week. Obviously we're going to hit the big boys first, things like Groudon and Kyogre. We're going to hit a lot of big boys this week. Probably double daily uploads, potentially. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. Groudon has Press Seat Blades. It's very, very strong. A lot of people like to think this is a fire type. It's actually ground, guys, so that's weird. But that is how it is. We have Pursuit Blade, being able to hit all adjacent foes. Once again, kind of similar to that Water Spout by Kyogre, actually very similar. Being able to hit all Pokemon is very, very big. 120 base power is insane, but we do have 85% accuracy. We can see Wiki Berry, we can see Wide Lens, we can see Life Orb scenario, we can see Life Orb on a Dynamaxing Groudon. We have a lot of different options. We have Fire Punch, Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Brick Break, a lot of good coverage, Dragon Claw, a lot of good coverage that allows us to, get a lot of damage on a max type Pokemon as well. So this Pokemon can max and be pretty crazy, everybody. So definitely be watching out for Groudon. I shouldn't have to tell very many people, and I'm sure a lot of people are like, yeah, we know, but it's really good, and I'm just explaining. Anyway, next we have Xerneas. This is a very, very powerful Pokemon, and a Pokemon that a lot of people are afraid of. It will be a little bit less powerful with only one restricted Pokemon, since instead of, having Xerneas and Groudon both staring at you, and you're like, oh, which do I kill? Something that'll kill me next turn, something that'll kill me right now. What do I do? Well, now we have Xerneas alone. So, you do get to focus that down. We have Power, we have Fairy Aura, a couple of things like that. I mean, everybody knows about the power of Geomancy. If you don't, Geomancy charges, it takes the 1 turn, but it raises your special attack, special defense, and speed by 2, which is huge. But with Power Herb, it's a 1-turn move instead of a 2-turn move. So you sit there, you follow me, or you fake out, or do something like that, or put a very, very intimidating Pokemon next to it, and it just is there. They have to deal with this Pokemon really, really fast. And now with Geomancy turn 1, Dynamax turn 2, this is going to be scary. This is going to be a very, very scary Pokemon, and something you're not really going to want to face down. So be prepared for the Xerneas. Next we have, what do we have next? Veltal? Yes, next we have Veltal. So Veltal is going to be a really big Pokemon as well, with very powerful ability Dark Aura, which gives you 1.33 power, 1.33 times power on your dark move, and any dark move used by any Pokemon while this is out on the field. This makes it so your Urshifu, your Moltres also get that 1.33 times boost, which is very, very good. You have things like Life Orb to supplement your damage. You have Stab. You have Life Orb, Stab, Dark Aura, all on your Dark Pulse. Crazy, crazy, guys. This is 130 attack and 130 special attack, so you could go a mix set. You could go, hone in on one type of attack. I'd probably hone in on one, but regardless, you're going to use Sucker Punch because you are going to still be doing a lot of damage with Dark Orb, or Dark Aura, Life Orb, Stab. Even if you're all invested into special attack, Sucker Punch will still be doing a lot of damage, which is very, very good. Yveltal has both of these abilities, or both of these actions here. Lash Out, Dark Pulse. If it gets intimidated, you have Lash Out, crazy damage. You have Sucker Punch. It's very, very good. It'll typically see a lot of, Dark on its team and Dark around it. So Veltal is good. We have a lot of really big Psychic Pokemon coming out in the meta as well. Mewtwo in the meta now is going to be wild. We have Yveltal for that, which is very, very good. There's a lot of stuff that Yveltal hits super effective damage into. Things like Dusclops, you're just taking that out right away. Very, very good. We have the Lunala coming, so we have Yveltal as well for that. Yveltal will definitely see a good bit of play, and a very, very solid Pokemon. You can see it potentially on things that, with another Dark Pokemon, and then something to kill these dumb fairy guys. So we have the Steel Celesteela as well, and since it's overlapping flying, we do have Raichu Lightning Rod as well. A couple of different little ideas there that can make the Yveltal team more of a build-around than, not a build-around, which is pretty cool. Next, we'll go ahead and talk about these riders. These Pokemon are going to be very, very, very strong in the meta. They are, of course, the spreads we have here are very basic, but a lot of these are, Calyrex Ice Riders are going to be running similar to this set. We have things like Life Orb, Weakness Policy, Lumberry, White Herb, anything that really doesn't let it take, stat boost in its attack, or give it stat boost in attack. Either way, you want to be doing a lot of damage. Ability's crazy. It's just Chilling Neigh, but with a nerve. So your opponent can't use berries too. Like, what a dumb thing to just add that. This Pokemon's going to be crazy. But we have Glacial Lance, which is just like, why would I ever use Icicle Crash again? The answer is you won't. It's 130 base power, 100 accuracy, 8 PP or 5 PP if you don't use a PP up. But it hits both foes. Crazy. What? Why is this allowed? This is stupid. This Pokemon is stupid. You thought Glastrier was dumb? Well, now we got a little dude riding it, and now it has an insane signature move and an insane ability. It's just stupid. This Pokemon is very, very good. Going to see a lot of play. It did gain a little bit of speed, which is a little unfortunate. Now it's at 49 speed instead of Glastrier. What was the difference, actually? This is 30 base speed, this is 50 base speed. So it is a little faster, which is one thing that is a little annoying. Some people are going to have to refarm for Calyrexes so that they can use this this rider with actual 0 speed, which is a little annoying. I mean, I, for one, hate that you have to do that. So, yeah, that sucks. Also, I didn't pick Shadow, so I'm going to have to find somebody with that. But, yeah, so Ice is going to be a big problem. Still going to be using Zen Headbutt as well. It also gained another stab. Come on. Why are we doing this, Pokemon? What are you doing, Pokemon? What are you doing? Hey, Pikachu. What are you doing? Hey, Pikachu, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Because Pikachu himself, Game Freak Pikachu himself is in this room. Game Freakachu, whatever. Anyway, so next we have Calyrex Shadow. Calyrex Shadow is going to be a very big Pokemon as well. It's going to be using things like Life Orb, Dynamax. Most likely, that's probably going to be the stats we see typically at first, which is good. It did gain another stab. This time, it does make it really, really weak to these dark Pokemon. Veltal looking pretty nice. I'm just saying. We do have As 1, which gives it Grim Neigh, as well as Unnerve, which is essentially Moxie. But now your opponent can't use berries. Cool, just pile on cool stuff like that. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you just add cool things? Anyway, now we have Astral Barrage as well. Shadow Ball, we threw away Shadow Ball. You know that, like, the meme with Andy from Toy Story is like, I don't want to use this. I don't want to play with you anymore. I just dropped Shadow Ball. I don't want to play that anymore. Anyway, we have things like Psychic and Psyshock. So, you have a pretty well-versed category there. You can use Astral Barrage. Your opponent's like, oh, I'm max quaked up 3 times. Well, joke's on you. I have Psyshock, bud. Got him. So that's a cool thing. Protect, whatever, protect's good. I just went pretty basic for these move sets in these spreads. So, obviously these could change throughout the format. We're in a restricted format, so you're going to want to do more calcs because things like Groudon are just going to kill you. They're just going to slap you, and you're just like, well, I guess I should have calced, so we have things like that. But this Pokemon is going to be really good. Both the riders are going to be very, very strong. Some of the most sought after Pokemon right off the bat in this restricted format, I assume. Pretty good stuff. Anyway, let's move on. Next, we have Mewtwo. Mewtwo is a really crazy Pokemon, in my opinion. This is one of the Pokemon that I really wanted to use in the Legendary Cup a little while ago. Obviously, the Legendary Cup it does not really mimic this at all. We have Series 7 Pokemon as well. Things like Lando, the Heatran, the Celesteela, the Ultra Beast, the Tapus, all of this stuff. But now we have Mewtwo as well. So Mewtwo is pretty exciting to see. We've never really had Mewtwo in this format, which is really interesting. I'm just double checking because it's really weird we have it, but we do have it. Unnerve is okay, but whatever. Life Orb, Expanding Force is the name of the game. We set up the Psychic Surge with either Indeedee or Tapu Lele, and then you bring out your Mewtwo, and your Expanding Force is crazy, and you can max it, and you have great moves there as well. Mewtwo has a lot of coverage, obviously. And Psychic type, Veltal looking good. Anyway, let's move on. So, Mewtwo's pretty cool. Let's talk about the next guy. So, we have Hooh. One really unfortunate thing about a lot of these Pokemon is we don't have Tailwind as a move tutor move anymore for a lot of these things. So, things like Lunala, the Hooh, the birds, they don't have Tailwind anymore, which is really unfortunate because Hooh could be used more so as a supportive Pokemon, like a Sacred Fire, Brave Bird, Recover, and Tailwind set could be really usable. So not having that is a little weird, but we still have Regenerator, Wiki Berry, which is really good. Regenerator, Pinch Berry. Your opponent hits you really low, you're like, okay, eat Wiki Berry, switch into Regenerator. Now you have a brand new bird. It's almost as if it's a Phoenix. Weird. Anyway, we have Sacred Fire, which is a crazy move. 50% chance to burn the target. Your opponent cannot really switch in any kind of physical Pokemon while you have Hooh out on the board, which is really, really interesting because it sets up this mind game of, cool, we're just slapping guys around because you can't really switch. It feels bad. You can't really switch in. Well, all right, shut up. Incineroar was a bad idea to say there. Anyway, you can't really switch in a lot of things. Even if it's not super effective. The next one in my mind was Rillaboom, like. You can't switch in physical attackers, okay? That's really what I'm saying. Sacred Fire is crazy. Anyway, that is one way of using Hooh. The Wiki Berry, the Pinch Berry, we got Recover. Really cool stuff. Bulky Bird. But we could also go for the Life Orb, Dynamax route with Hooh. That could be really good as well. You have things like Earthquake, Brave Bird, Sacred Fire. It has some other good moves in its arsenal. You have Dual Wing Beat, which is an interesting move. Brave Bird is definitely going to be over that most of the time, but it's still cool. Facade, you have a little bit of, speed control there. There's some cool options. Iron Head for some damage modifiers as well. Good stuff. Zen Headbutt, set terrain for your guy. I don't know. Hooh's cool. Hooh is definitely a cool Pokemon, something I'm pretty excited for. Let's move on. Next, we have Rayquaza. Rayquaza is another Pokemon that I'm really excited for. Airlock is really good. When we have Groudon and Kyogre running the format, Airlock is really good. However, when we're talking about just using one restricted Pokemon, I think Rayquaza is not going to see a lot of play this format. I definitely think it could, potentially. Airlock is very good. We have Focus Sash AV sets, potentially. You have Swords Dance. You have Extreme Speed, Dragon Ascent. It's a good Pokemon. You could also see Life Orb, Dynamax variants with Max Airstream and Max Wormwind. Those could all happen. Rayquaza could be an AV, bulky build that just sits there in extreme speeds and Dragon Ascents all day, and that could be cool as well. You have a lot of really good things with Rayquaza that could happen, but it is kind of a little bit weaker than a lot of restricted Pokemon, so keep that in mind. Anyway, next we have Zacian Crown. This is another Pokemon that a lot of people are excited for. I played this in the Legendary Cup. Like I said, that is obviously a very, very different format, mostly because, we have all these Series 7 Pokemon, but still, Zacian Crown is going to be insane. This Pokemon's move, Behemoth Blade, is ridiculous. Being able to do double damage to a targeted Dynamax target, that's wild. We have Intrepid Sword, which just gives it a +1 attack when it's moved in, so, your opponent intimidates you, you're like, yeah, alright, whatever. And then you have Rusted Sword that just makes this guy's stats absurd. Look at these stats. 148 base speed, 220. That's Regieleki at max, or at min speed. That's insane. Look at these stats. Look at these defenses. 115, 115, 92 for a 170 base attack Pokemon. It's stupid. It's ignorant. Zacian Crown is an insane Pokemon. It doesn't even take your Dynamax to do this much damage. It's insane. And, when such a fast Pokemon with so much damage, this Pokemon is a monster. Period. I think it's one of the most hyped up restricted Pokemon of Series 8. For good reason. I mean, this Pokemon's insane. Next, we have Eternatus. Eternatus is cool. We have things like Assault Vest, Life Orb, Expert Belt, Choice Specs. You have a lot of different options there, but it can't Dynamax once again, but it doesn't even have that crazy thing. Why did I... Yeah, it has a cool signature move. I don't know why I was like, I completely missed that and went Draco Meteor. Anyway, Dynamax, once again, doubles damage if target is Dynamax, an amazing thing. But this is a little bit slower and doesn't have as crazy stats, in my opinion. Obviously, it has good HP and it has decent all-around bulk. But, come on. Look at this thing. 115, 115, 95, 95. I mean, yeah, they're different Pokemon. They have different typings. They have different things that they do. But, yeah, Eternatus It's a cool Pokemon. It's not going to see as much play as a lot of these restricted Pokemon, but it could still see play. Too bad we can't Gigantamax this Pokemon, but it's okay. I'm not worried about that. Next, we're going to talk about Lugia. This is a Pokemon that I never really use. I just don't really think of it as the very strong of a restricted Pokemon. But you know what? In a restricted format where we only have one Pokemon, it makes you want to play a Pokemon less. But it kind of made me want to play Lugia more. Lugia actually has some cool things like multi-scale weakness policy that I can do. Dynamax it, and then you have Earth Power, Psychic, Aeroblast, Recover that turns into Max Guard so that when it goes back down to normal, you have a +2 special attacking, or +2 special defense recovering Pokemon. It's pretty cool, you know. You definitely, and it's very fast. 178. That's on the same speed tier as Raichu, which is very, very fast. So it's good. I think Lugia is definitely a decent Pokemon. We also have Life Orb multi-scale if you don't want to go for that weakness policy, but multi-scale kind of, you know, inhibits that weakness policy. Is inhibit the right word there? Probably not. But yeah, I just threw a lightning Raichu here as well. Everybody wants to think this Pokemon's water. I used to think this Pokemon was water before I understood the summary button, I guess, when I was 8, but still, it's cool. Lugia is cool. I think Lugia will be a cool Pokemon this format. Yeah. Anyway, now we're getting into a little bit less notable Pokemon for a little bit of this. I still think Dialga is really good. I think the Solgaleo, Lunala, and the Necrozma forms are really good as well. So yeah, we're just going to talk about them real quick. So first off, we have Dialga. Adamant Orb is pretty cool, giving it 1.2 times power on these moves, Flash Cannon, Draco Meteor, so that's cool. Telepathy, Pressure, both aren't really that good. That is unfortunate that it is held back a little bit by a bad ability, but it's still cool. Talk so much, talk so fast. Anyway, Flash Cannon, Draco Meteor, not bad. Dragon Pulse, different options. You have different coverage down here, as you can see. Aura Sphere, Blizzard, you know, a couple other special attacks, Earth Power, Fire Blast, Flamethrower. It's very, very Hyper Voice. It has a lot, Ice Beam. It has a lot of coverage, so Dialga is definitely good there. It has good stats. 150 special attack is really good, and on 100 HP, 120 defense, and 100 special defense, it's pretty bulky. 90 speed allows it to use Trick Room as a mix-up, but still be very fast, and yeah, or decently speedy in that matchup. But you could also just be like, oh, there we go, and now you're not bad speed at all. 156. Things like Moltres use that speed tier, and they're just like, yeah, I'm pretty fast, so that's good too. But I'll probably go into bulk and special attack for this Pokemon most of the time to give more validation to the Trick Room strat as well. Palkia plays very similar to Dialga, but they are different typings. Water Dragon is really cool typing. We have Telepathy and Pressure, which are bad things, but it does still have a good signature item that just gives it 1.2 times power on its Water and Dragon attacks, which is things like Special Rend and Hydro Pump. This move is crazy, by the way. 100 power, 95 accuracy, high crit ratio. It's actually really, really good. Hydro Pump kind of sucks, and it's only good water option, which is unfortunate. We have Surf, but that's I guess that's okay. So yeah, you have a couple of different options there. We have Trick Room. You can go Protect. It has a couple of different options. As you see, I just clicked Flamethrower, so it has a lot of options. Aura Sphere, Blizzard, Draco Meteor, Earth Power, Dragon Pulse, Fire Blast, Flamethrower, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Hyper Voice. Has a lot of good options, which is very good. So Palkia can definitely be used. Dialga and Palkia, I don't expect them to be used a lot, but they definitely can be used. And once again, you know, we have the Trick Room strat, so, you know, to give it a little bit more validation, you can just run no speed. But at a base 100 speed, this Pokemon's actually pretty fast, you know. We see that on things like Charizard and Volcarona. Just very fast base 100 speeders. A lot of Pokemon that are faster than that will go to that 168 speed, which if you didn't know, this would be 167 at max here. 167. So a lot of Pokemon like Kartana will just go right past that in speed. Garchomp, they'll go right past that in speed. So it is a fast Pokemon, but the slowest of the fast Pokemon, if that makes much sense. So yeah, Dialga and Palkia have options. They have good Trick Room, you know, validation strats, which is cool. It's good stuff. Next, we have Reshiram and Zekrom. These Pokemon, once again, can be okay. I kind of went with the lazy route and just giving Life Orb, good attacks, and then 252 HP and special attack. Because, once again, they're not that fast. 90 speed is not too insane, but look at the bulk. It's great. 120 special D, 100 defense, and 100 HP. Very, very solid. A little above average all around. And then that special attack strat. crazy. 150, wild. You also have really good moves like Blue Flare that, you know, if you max this Pokemon, just insane. Like, max this Pokemon, use Blue Flare, Draco Meteor, mighty. It's mighty. That's really all I got. Same with Zekrom, pretty much the same thing across the board. Draco Meteor, Bolt Strike, you have good, like, pretty good coverage there as well. Protect, Life Orb, you could go Weakness Policy. There's a couple of different options there. But this guy, you know, you could play Speed as well. You could also just not and play Bulk. A lot of different options there for them. Definitely going to be a little bit lower in usage stats compared to a lot of the restricted Pokemon, but they're good nonetheless. Also, don't they have a form? I'm pretty sure they have a form, right? The Kyurem Black. Yeah, they have these forms as well. This is what I missed, by the way, which is a really dumb miss because these Pokemon are pretty crazy. Yeah, these Pokemon are pretty wild. Both the forms here. Yeah, they're good. Anyway, that's really all I'm gonna leave at those guys because the Kyurems, fused, they're good. They're gonna be good. But I've never really used them, so yeah. Anyway, next we have Giratina. Giratina is another Pokemon that I never really used. I don't think it's like too good, but Ghost Dragon typing is pretty good. You know, we only have Dragapult other than it, which is cool. Gracious Orb to give it a little bit more attack damage. It's the same as Palkia Dialga, but it also makes you into your Origin form, which gives you Levitate instead of like Pressure Telepathy, which is really good for this Pokemon. You know, being able to have an additional immunity is good. We have things like Shadow Force, Dragon Claw, Calm Mind, Protect. This maybe like this could be on a weird set. These are obviously physical. Like the set we have right now is physical, but Calm Mind is just an idea. Like this isn't an actual move set, but guys, like this is just some options. Next we have Zygarde. Zygarde's like okay. We do have complete Zygarde, so that's what I'm gonna be more focused on. But still, we have Power Struck, Power Construct, things like Wiki Berry, Thousand Arrows, and what's the other one? 1,000 Waves. A couple of different options there. So Zygarde's cool, but we are going to be looking a little bit more into the 100% Zygarde complete. Life Orb, Dynamax, this thing's stats are really good. 216 HP is wild, but with 121 defense and 95 defense specialty, this HP stat is insane. We're not doing too much damage there, 91 and 100, so this could be weakness policy as well. But it's not. It's going to be like weird to activate it because ice just kills. So it's kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out. You know, Zygarde, we'll make a moveset for that soon, and it'll be cool. This Power Ranger dude, so it'll be cool. Next, we got Solgaleo. Solgaleo is actually very solid. We'll also be looking at the Necrozma, Duskmane, and Dawnwings, their fused forms. But first off, Solgaleo is still a really good Pokemon. You know, it's a better Metagross, essentially. This is kind of even a better Metagross, but they are different. They have different stats. This guy's more focused on speed and attack, when this guy, or more focused on speed and bulk. This guy's more focused on attack and speed, as you can see here. But yeah, weakness policy will probably be the name of the game. You can also go Life Orb. You know, pretty much anything you see a Metagross using, we have Solgaleo now. So that's really good. Solgaleo will definitely see play, and so will Fused Solgaleo. All that stuff. We have Psychic Fang, Steel Roller, Earthquake, Protect, as the set here. That's definitely customizable. The EV spread is very customizable. You don't have to just go attack, especially if you're going weakness policy. You can afford to go a little bit more into bulk, which can be good. Next, we have Lunala. Let's talk about Lunala because it is a little bit different from a lot of these restricted Pokemon. A lot of restricted Pokemon, you're hoping to just throw them out there and slap around your opponent, but Lunala can do some other stuff. You have Trick Room, we have Wide Guard as options, Psyshock, and Moongeist Beam to be able to switch it up on your opponent. It does get Psychic as well, so you know, depending on your team comp, you might want Psychic or Psyshock, just depending on how it is. Shadow Shield is very good. It's an amazing ability. It really allows it to use Trick Room very, very efficiently, being able to, have the damage when it's at full HP, which is very, very good. We have things like Wiki Berry, potentially Citrus Berry, as well, kind of take that away and then go back up to Shadow Shield potentially. I mean, obviously not. That's not really how berries work, but still, Shadow Shield is pretty cool. It's good stuff. We have Trick Room. Very good stuff. This is going to be a great Trick Room Pokemon. Invest a good bit into special attack, speed potentially, and then bulk a lot of the time too. Unfortunately, it did lose Tailwind. But yeah, we have a lot of good dark Pokemon though, by the way. So this will be a pretty sketchy Pokemon to play. With things like Incineroar and Urshifu already running the meta. And Galar Moltres. And then we also have a Veltal coming. it's going to be kind of sketchy to put this on your team as your restricted Pokemon because of all those good dark Pokemon. But you can definitely switch it up with your team and have more like fairies and fighting and guys that'll just knock those Pokemon out and let Lunala play. But Lunala, a lot of the time, wants to be on the field first. Set up the Trick Room or Tailwind. But like I said, we lost Tailwind. So, you know, it's not nearly as effective as it once was with that. It gets Trick too, which is cool. Anyway, Necrozma Duskmane, very similarly played as Solgaleo, but it does have a little bit more bulk. Special defense at 109, defense at 127, less HP, but more attack and less speed. So this could be used on a Trick Room team as well, but it doesn't have to be. As you can see here, we still get to 141 speed, which is okay, but we are going to be in a very, very fast format. So if you go for 0 speed, min speed, you are hitting 73, which is pretty slow in a very fast format like the one we are moving into and that we are currently in. So yeah, this could work under Trick Room. Necrozma, kind of the same thing, very similar to the last one, but we also do have Prism Armor, which is crazy instead of Shadow Shield. I also didn't mention that for Necrozma. That's kind of why I like Weakness Policy so much on this Pokemon, because Prism Armor is good. It's very close to the Rock Armor, whatever the Rhyperior guy has. I forget what his name is. What the ability's name is. Anyway, they're good. I think these Pokemon are going to see a lot of play. So Galio, Lunala, and their transforms, I think they can see a lot of play this format. So I'm pretty excited to see how those turn out to be. Last one. This is the last thing I have for the video. But it's not least. Like, it's okay. Zamazenta Crown is pretty good. Rusted Shield makes it broken. Dauntless Shield gives it +1 defense when it's brought in. It's Zacian, but instead of being super offensive and crazy, it's super defensive and still pretty good. We have Close Combat and Behemoth Bash. Behemoth Bash still doing double damage at Dynamax, which is really good. We have things like Ice Fang being able to, cover its ground weakness and stuff like that. Pretty good stats across the board. Look at these defenses. Defense at 145, special defense at 145. Very, very fast Pokemon as well, and very good damage still. So, it's a good Pokemon. Just not as hyped up as Zacian, because Zacian's ridiculous. Every single time that, Pokemon loves Zacian, man. It's crazy in the card game. It's crazy in the video game. It's just a crazy Pokemon. Anyway, this has been a pretty long video, but I hope you enjoyed. If you're still here, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Makes a huge difference. It really does. Not a lot of people, a small percentage of people subscribe to my channel, so do that. It's huge. Go down into the comment section and tell me, what are you looking forward to the most? Also, what do you guys want to see the most in this content creation gold mine of new format that is restricted format? What do you guys want to see? More guides, more team building battles, a lot of uploads? Do you want me to stream viewer battles? Give me ideas. I might not do them all, but more ideas means for more potential content. So anyway, that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Go down into the description down below. Click on all those links, jump down the rabbit hole, and follow me on all my social medias and stuff like that. Have a great weekend. I don't know why I said have a great weekend, because it's literally Monday. The weekend just ended. Have a great week. Have a great month. Have a great year. Have a great life. Goodbye.